Today, we're really plunging into a case that, well, it's a chilling testament to forensic detective work.
It is. It's a story that peeled back layers of, suburban normalcy to expose something truly dark. Manipulation, secrets.
And it all begins not with complex data, but with a sound that just chills you to the bone.
Yeah, that frantic 911 call from a 14-year-old girl, her voice just raw with terror.
Can you even imagine a quiet suburban morning completely shattered?
And she recounts it. I look out the window and I see my mom's body on the ground. I remember screaming, but I didn't realize it was coming for me. Just devastating.
It's an immediate visceral jolt, isn't it? That call instantly sets the stage for, well, a profound mystery.
You've got a dead woman lying on a patio.
And an open window 2 stories above her. Right from the outset, this scene presents that perplexing, almost cliched question.
Accident, suicide, or murder?
Exactly. Was this an unthinkable accident, a tragic suicide, or something far more sinister, a premeditated murder?
And this seemingly straightforward scene, as we'll discover, it just unravels so quickly.
Oh, absolutely. It becomes deeply complex, forcing investigators to question everything they initially thought they knew.
Absolutely, and that's precisely our mission for this deep dive. We're going to unpack the extraordinary case of Nada Al-Antawi.
It's a journey that really reveals how meticulous forensic science and, frankly, dedicated detective work transforms an apparent tragedy into a calculated crime.
We'll be focusing on the precise facts, the evolving timeline, the key people involved.
And the crucial pieces of evidence, the linchpins that changed everything.
Our mission here for you is to understand not just what happened, but how the truth was painstakingly revealed, piece by agonizing piece.
Challenging those initial assumptions every step of the way.
Okay, let's transport ourselves back to August 2017. We're in Farmington Hills, Michigan.
A well-heeled suburb, right, northwest of Detroit. Affluent.
Exactly. Sprawling homes, manicured lawns, that quiet, almost idyllic suburban life.
And this was the setting for 14-year-old Ya.
Yeah, a young woman with big plans for sophomore year of high school, looking forward to, doing her makeup, mascara, blush.
Typical teenage stuff, wanting to feel a bit more grown up.
The Al-Antawi family lived in this huge place, a 10,000 square foot mansion.
Wow. Easy to get lost in a house that big.
But usually it buzzed with activity. Their morning routine, Yar called, was almost military.
Really? Strict?
Very. Alarms blaring at 6 a.m. sharp. Mom Nada would check everyone was up.
Okay.
And they had to be in the car by 6:30 a.m. Ya said, if you're not on time, you're getting left behind.
No messing around then. A precise schedule.
Designed to manage the chaos, I guess, but that kind of rigid routine, it sets an expectation, doesn't it?
It really does. It establishes a rhythm for the whole household. So when that rhythm is broken...
You feel it immediately, even before you know why.
Exactly. It creates this profound sense of unease, a psychological dissonance.
Yeah.
It's a subtle but powerful detail here.
And on that particular morning, that rhythm was shattered. Ya described the house as completely silent.
A stark contrast to their usual hustle. Deeply unsettling.
Her mom, Nada, hadn't come to wake her. The clock ticked past 6 a.m.
And the unease starts to build.
Definitely. Ya began her search, walked down the hall, younger sister still asleep, checked the guest bedroom, then downstairs to the kitchen, the garage. No sign of Nada anywhere.
The silence in that huge house must have felt suffocating.
It did. And it was in that silence that this dreadful thought crept into Ya's mind.
An intuition.
Yeah, something she tried to dismiss. It's those small deviations from the norm, isn't it? The quiet house, the broken routine.
The first dissonant notes. Signals that something is fundamentally wrong.
Exactly. Ya's mind drifted to an open window she'd noticed earlier. In the guest bedroom.
Okay.
She remembered thinking, I don't think she would have fallen out, but maybe she did.
That morbid curiosity, that dread.
It drove her back upstairs. She rushed to that open window and she looked down.
And saw
her 35-year-old mother, Nada, face up on the patio, still in her pajamas, completely motionless, 2 floors below.
Oh my God. An image that would just be burned into her memory forever.
Forever. Ya described her reaction. She said, I remember screaming, but I didn't realize it was coming from me.
An out-of-body experience. Utterly overwhelmed.
Paralyzed by shock. She couldn't even bring herself to touch her mother's body.
That inability to touch the body, it's a profound trauma response, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially in such a shocking, sudden loss. The mind trying to distance itself from an unbearable reality.
The world just irrevocably changed for her in that instant. The aftermath was just chaos.
I can only imagine.
Yala, in pure terror, ran to her older brother Mohammed, yelling, "Mom was outside!"
Right.
Then instinct took over. She dialed 911, voice trembling, describing her mom being 2 stories down.
Okay, so she made the call,
She handed the phone to Mohammed so the dispatcher could try to talk him through CPR.
which we later learned was futile.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ya ran frantically down the driveway to flag down the police and paramedics.
Okay.
When officers arrived, the scene was outwardly quiet, green, typical suburbia.
But inwardly, just unimaginable distress.
Police photos captured those initial observations. A stepladder in the guest bedroom,
Okay.
streaks of cleaning fluid on the window pane, a wet towel on the ground right next to Nada's body.
All suggesting cleaning.
Exactly. And the window itself was described as very high, almost like a 3rd-story window.
High for window cleaning.
And the screen was removed, propped against the wall. There was a bucket of water, a bottle of cleaning solution on the ladder, too.
These initial observations are so crucial. They form the basis of that first interpretation.
Right. Cleaning supplies, ladder, open window, high window. It all points to an accident.
Precisely. A fall during cleaning. That's why one of the first questions police asked the kids was,
Has her mother ever tried to kill herself, or was she ever suicidal, depressed, that sort of thing?
they're trying to rapidly establish context, rule out possibilities based on that physical scene.
And what came next during that questioning was a huge shock for Ya.
Oh.
Mohammed responded, "No, actually she has," revealing Nada had tried to overdose on pills a few years prior.
Wow. A detail Jan knew nothing about.
Nothing. Absolutely stunned. In the middle of this fresh tragedy, learning that about her mother's past.
Just another layer of confusion and sorrow.
Shortly after, her father, Dr. Basil Alantawi, arrived. Ya saw him falling to his knees at the news, seemingly overcome.
Okay, a picture of grief.
But later, she remembered him whispering in Arabic on the phone with his mom, saying, Ned is dead. Like she's dead.
Almost clinical.
Yeah.
Detached. That's unsettling in retrospect.
Deeply unsettling. And what Ya didn't know then was the ambulance's true destination.
Not the hospital.
No, Nada was deceased. There was no hope. The ambulance was taking her directly to the office of the medical examiner.
That's a stark difference. It means at the scene, they knew. Focus shifted from rescue to forensic investigation immediately. And that whispered phone call. It's a subtle early crack in the facade, isn't it? Something detectives would note.
To really grasp this tragedy, we need to understand Nada Alantawi herself.
The woman at the center of it all.
Her friends from the Franklin Athletic Club, Deanie and Susie, they painted this picture of a vibrant, warm person.
Yeah, what did they say?
Called her sweet, loving, happy, a really warm, kind soul who loved to make other people happy and loved Zumba. Always smiling.
A radiant presence, it sounds like. Someone who connected with people.
Definitely. Now, Nada was born in Syria, lived there till she was 18.
Okay.
That's when she entered an arranged marriage with Dr. Basil Alantawi, who was 11 years older.
Yeah, they moved to the U.S.
Yeah. Basil opened an urgent care clinic. They were both devout Muslims, part of their local mosque, raised the kids in a traditional framework.
So a vibrant spirit, but rooted in that cultural and religious background. An arranged marriage, moving to a new country. That's a complex foundation.
It is. And Ya remembered her mom having a big smile, but also this poignant regret.
What was that?
I wish we had a lot more time together, because the time that we had towards the end wasn't always the best.
Wow. That speaks volumes about the emotional landscape, doesn't it?
It does. After the separation from Basil, Nada did most of the parenting. And in a heartbreaking detail,
Yes.
Nada asked Ya to spend the night in her room 3 times in the weeks before her death. Something she hadn't done in years.
Really? Seeking closeness, perhaps.
Maybe. But Ya, being a teenager wanting independence, declined each time, thinking, okay, if she asks me a 4th time, I'll say yeah.
But she never asked a 4th time.
No. A small moment Ya clearly carries with profound regret. Missed opportunities.
Those missed connections, they become so significant later. Especially with a parent. Speaks to Nada's own need for comfort, maybe, in a difficult time.
And it was a difficult time, rooted in a deeply fractured marriage. Nada and Basil separated in 2016. Basil moved out.
Right. And the divorce was ongoing, described as bitter.
Yeah, conflict over finances, child rearing. And as the kids got older, Nada started to chafe against her father's control, according to Ya.
felt she wasn't really being submissive anymore. A shift
Yeah.
from traditional expectations.
Exactly. This desire for independence led her to want a career, become a personal trainer.
Okay.
Basil absolutely lost it, fiercely opposed it because she'd be getting a job at a place where men and women work together.
Ah, the clash of values. Nada seeking autonomy. Basil clinging to traditional restrictive views. A major source of tension.
And the bickering escalated, tragically, to physical fights.
Oh no.
Ya recounted this incident 18 months before Nada's death, on Valentine's Day, woken by yelling.
Familiar sound, sadly.
Basil grabbed Nada's phone in a rage, and Ya saw him slam a door on Nada's hand trying to get it.
Horrifying. What did Ya do?
She called the police. Basil was arrested for domestic violence, pleaded no contest, got probation,
And crucially,
a strict no-contact order, ordered to keep away from Nada, a legal line in the sand.
that domestic violence incident is critical. Documented history of aggression, control, and Nada actively seeking protection provides a strong potential motive for Basil.
Nada's quest for freedom continued. She consulted an Islamic scholar, Dr. Khaled Abu Alad, about taking off her hijab.
Okay.
He advised her it wouldn't make her a bad Muslim, giving her religious sanction for her choice.
Interesting. So she decided to stop covering her hair.
She did. Basil didn't like it one bit, saw it as more defiance.
Another clash.
Her divorce attorney noted Nada talked about her fear of him, how she felt he was a dangerous man, described her family life as oppressive.
Trapped in control and fear. And Basil had other troubles too, right?
Big ones. Convicted of felony health insurance fraud, stealing from patients, charging for unneeded x-rays,
What were the consequences?
paid a $350,000 fine, and devastatingly lost his medical license. Career over.
Wow. And Nada's connection.
She'd been his bookkeeper, reportedly believed he blamed her for his crimes. Saw her as a risk, maybe?
Especially with that deposition coming up in the divorce, where her lawyer was asking about criminal things that will send your dad to prison. A major imminent threat to Basil.
And that fear Nada expressed, calling him dangerous. It's a tragic premonition.
Chilling.
And illustrating Basil's mindset, on the morning Nada died, Ya saw him for the first time in over a year.
Amidst the horror.
The first thing he said to Ya, Ya, what are you wearing? You're going to go to hell if you keep dressing like that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
in that moment.
yeah.
Speaks volumes about his priorities, the control.
Even in the face of death. So, with the scene suggesting an accident?
The Oakland County Medical Examiner's Office steps in, under Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Lubis Dragovich.
Right. The initial autopsy by Dr. Ortiz-Reyes concluded Nada died from injuries from the fall.
The preliminary assessment, based on visible trauma and the scene context.
Looked like a tragic accident, but Dr. Dragovich, the chief, he saw something in the photos that bothered him.
This is where the sharp eye of forensic pathology changes everything. What did he see?
A deep scrape above Nada's mid-forehead, and other scrapes on her elbow, leg. But something was missing.
What was missing?
Blood. He expected to bleed pretty heavily from such injuries. But there was no blood there.
No blood. That's significant. Why?
Because the absence of bleeding, that lack of a vital reaction, means only one thing.
Her heart wasn't pumping when the injuries occurred.
Exactly. Her heart must have stopped pumping before she went out the window. If she'd been alive, she would have bled.
So the conclusion.
Shocking. She didn't jump or die from an accidental fall. She was already dead by then.
Wow. That flips the entire narrative instantly.
Completely. The enigma shifted from how she fell to how she died. That single observation
Became the first domino, turning an accidental death investigation into a homicide investigation. Just like that.
It's a complete game changer, isn't it? Moving from accident to homicide based on what wasn't there.
Absolutely. It forced the ME's office to dig deeper. Further tests revealed more.
Like what?
A bluish tinge to her skin, blood on her nose and lips, signs of lack of oxygen, suffocation.
Okay.
Then, microscopic examination of her lung tissue, Dr. Dragovich found bacterial colonies in the air sacs, and there was blood.
Bacterial colonies, what does that mean?
He called it a telltale sign that someone had forcefully blocked her nose and mouth. Nessural blockage.
Smothering.
Direct evidence of deliberate smothering, cutting off her oxygen.
Horrific. But what about the cleaning supplies? That chemical smell police reported from the towel.
Right, the chemical factor. Toxicology was negative for common poisons.
Opiates, barbiturates.
Yeah, but officers noted that pungent smell from the towel near the body, described as naphthalene or some kind of chemical.
So Dragovich wondered.
If it was something not on the standard tox screen, something that could have quickly incapacitated Nada before she was smothered.
making it easier to overpower her without a struggle.
Exactly. A possible two-pronged attack: incapacitation, then smothering.
So the initial theory of an accidental fall wasn't just challenged.
It was completely debunked by the science. Bloodless scrapes, signs of asphyxia, lung tissue evidence, potential chemical incapacitation.
Leading to the final determination.
Cause of death: asphyxia by smothering. Manner of death: homicide. Official.
Which immediately broadened the investigation into a full-scale homicide case, a critical forensic turning point.
Absolutely. Guiding law enforcement down a totally new path.
With homicide confirmed, detectives returned to Nada's house. Perspective changed entirely.
No longer looking for signs of an accident that didn't happen.
Now hoping for something more, who was in that room with Nada?
And then a crucial tip emerges.
From the interior designer, revealed the house had 6 security cameras.
Surveillance footage. Potentially determinative in a case like this.
And Nada kept them rolling, recording everything, a potential goldmine.
Police needed that DVR. They contacted Basil.
He showed some initial reluctance, apparently, which raised a flag.
But eventually he allowed them to seize the DVR.
Then the painstaking work began, scrolling through hours of footage.
Not like on TV, is it? Meticulous, tedious work.
No camera focused directly on the guest bedroom, frustratingly, but one pointed down toward the patio.
The spot where the body was found.
And that's where they found it. Just before 5:55 a.m., Nada's body suddenly grotesquely fell through the frame.
Chilling confirmation. But the key is repeated viewing, careful analysis.
Exactly. Rewatching, detectives noticed something subtle. A light in the guest bedroom came on, creating shadows on the grass.
Okay.
Revealed a grisly shadow play of what looked like a person moving at the window, lifting something.
Lifting something.
Dr. Dragovich described seeing the lifeless body being disposed over the windowsill with some push propel.
He saw a struggle.
Yeah, somebody seemed to be struggling to get that over the edge of the window, and he confirmed, dead body is dead weight.
That's crucial. It contradicts an accidental fall or jump. A dead body needs active lifting, pushing. The struggle confirms deliberate disposal.
And they didn't stop there. The grainy video was sent for digital enhancement.
Forensic video experts, what did they find?
Even more chilling details. Light comes on at 5:54 a.m. Clearly shows 2 shadows on the wall.
2 shadows.
One being Nada's body hoisted over the ledge. And then, after she fell, the shadow of a person still in the room moving objects around.
Staging. Moving objects after the disposal. Classic sign of manipulating the scene, trying to create that false accident narrative.
Undeniable evidence of staging. So, with video of a body being disposed of, homicide confirmed, the immediate suspect.
For many, including Nada's friends, it had to be Basil, the estranged husband.
Motive seemed clear. Bitter divorce, anger over her independence, domestic violence history, his own legal troubles.
Especially that deposition Nada was about to give.
All signs pointed to him. It's the logical path for investigators initially.
Absolutely. Prime suspect. But you have to rule people out with solid evidence, no matter the suspicion.
And that's exactly what happened. Despite all that, Basil had an ironclad alibi.
How?
He was on probation for that domestic violence charge, had to wear a GPS tracking device, a tether.
The tether. So they knew exactly where he was.
Conclusively, timestamp data showed he was 20 miles away in Cantan that morning, nowhere near the house.
Miles away. Physically impossible for him to be that shadow in the window.
Completely ruled out,
Yeah.
which dramatically shifted the focus again.
Right. Pivoted the investigation rapidly. Focus turned irrevocably to the only other people in the house that morning.
Not his 3 children. And the enhanced video offered a clue.
The shadow's size. Weight suggested a male. Appeared to have short hair.
Characteristics consistent with
Mohammed, not his older son. 16 years old at the time.
a heartbreaking direction for the investigation. Yeah, the daughter became pivotal here.
Her insights into the family dynamics were crucial.
She told investigators Mohammed was very against the divorce, resentful
Blamed Nada for.
his father being arrested in the domestic violence incident, and alarmingly, he would reiterate everything my dad had ever said.
Strong alignment with the father. Animosity towards the mother.
Friends recalled Nada saying, "Sadly, I will always have my daughters, but to my son, I'm dead."
Wow. That's incredibly telling. Reflects that emotional chasm, her hopelessness about the relationship with him. Could be a foundational motive.
Ya also shared her own fear of Mohammed, said she didn't feel safe.
Why not?
Described him as a lot more volatile and his fuses so much shorter, worried he might Snap?
Concerning.
And noted his unusual behavior that morning, normally a late sleeper.
But that morning,
He was already gotten up, showered, cleaned up, appeared very dazed and loosed, walking very, very slow. Completely out of character.
those behavioral changes. Huge red flags for investigators. Deviations from routine and high-stress situations suggest involvement or extreme stress.
Then there was the laundry anomaly.
What was that?
Investigators found jeans, a rug, other items soaking in water in the laundry area. Washing machine had an error code.
Stopped mid-cycle.
Yeah, and Ya stated only she or Nada ever did laundry. Neither had done it that day.
Suggest a frantic amateur attempt to clean evidence. Blood, DNA, a panicked effort at destruction, clear signal of trying to conceal something.
Even Mohammed's actions on the 911 call raised questions. The CPR.
What about it?
Prosecution described it as very half-hearted. Reportedly stopped giving CPR altogether at one point, was just counting.
Not actively trying to resuscitate?
Ya felt it was fake CPR. Observed he never seemed to be quite as alarmed by the situation as she was.
That perceived lack of urgency. It can be interpreted as foreknowledge or lack of concern. Highly suspicious.
So the day after the murder, detectives interview 16-year-old Mohammed.
Where'd this happen?
At the dining room table in the house. His father, Basil, was initially there, advised him to cooperate, then left.
Common tactic. Less intimidating setting, try to build rapport, get them talking.
Mohammed first claimed he didn't know about security cameras, only learned something was wrong when Ya yelled, denied being in the guest room or helping clean.
Standard denial.
But detectives pushed subtly, let him know they had the video. Somebody was there, we know that, it's on video.
Presenting the known facts.
And offered him an out. If it was an accident, if it was an argument, that's what we need to know. Suggested, you're going to feel a lot better if it's an accident.
Classic interrogation technique. Offer less incriminating explanation. Allows them to save face, move towards admitting presence.
And it worked. His story started shifting.
How so?
He admitted, I saw her walking upstairs with some stuff. She just said to go get spray bottle. I brought her that and that's it. I left.
Placing himself nearby. A small shift.
Under continued pressure, he changed it again. Confessed to being in the room.
Doing what?
Holding the ladder while Nada cleaned. Claimed she leaned over and she tripped, got stuck. That's when she fell.
An accidental fall narrative.
Said he tried to grab her foot, couldn't. Then went to my room immediately, wanted to forget about it because I just saw my mom fall, man.
Okay, a detailed confession of witnessing an accident. But the problem?
It directly contradicts the medical examiner's finding. Nada was already dead before the fall.
The unresolvable contradiction. His story describes an accident. The forensic evidence proves pre-existing death by asphyxiation.
Which is why Basil abruptly stopped the interview right then, demanded an attorney.
Makes sense. Mohammed was taken into custody. His story didn't align with the scientific facts.
But the evidence against him didn't stop there. Police confiscated his phone.
A digital treasure trove? What did they find?
First, Nada's contact name in his phone was just Dog.
Wow. Speaks volumes about the disrespect, the animosity.
Then a text Nada sent him weeks before her death about the divorce deposition.
The one that could implicate Basil.
Yeah. She warned her lawyer was asking about criminal things that will send your dad to prison if I said anything.
And Mohammed.
Immediately forwarded that text directly to his father, Basil.
That's critical. Establishes motive clearly. Mohammed knew the threat his mother's testimony posed to his father. Ties the murder timing directly to protecting Basil.
And the evidence of premeditation, the planning.
What else was there?
Chilling discovery on his phone. Photos he'd taken of the exact guest bedroom window.
The disposal site. When were these taken?
Just a few weeks before the murder, prosecutors argued this was proof. Mohammed had been plotting the murder for weeks.
Meticulously planning. That's powerful evidence of premeditation.
And finally, phone records. Extensive communication between Mohammed and Basil.
When?
More than 20 times calls or messages between 4:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. on the morning of the murder.
Before the body was discovered.
Yes, before. Highly irregular, deeply suspicious flurry of communication.
So you put it all together, the derogatory name, the forwarded text, the window photos weeks before, the frantic early morning calls. It paints a compelling picture.
Premeditation and a clear motive.
The prosecutor's theory becomes pretty concrete. Mohammed killed his mom to protect his dad, prevent that deposition, eliminate the witness. A calculated plot.
With Mohammed now the prime suspect, veteran attorney Michael Shano took the defense.
And Shano believed he was innocent.
Firmly. Argued police had a bunch of shadows, and that was about it. His strategy aimed to dismantle the prosecution's case point by point.
Okay, how did he counter this seemingly strong case? What were the key defense arguments?
One major point was Muhammad's physical capacity. Shano argued he was a very skinny, I would almost call him frail at the time.
Challenging if he could overpower Nada and dispose of the body.
Exactly. Plus, Muhammad had serious prior injuries from a car accident, fractured vertebrae, smashed breastbone.
Making him potentially too weak.
That was the argument. Too weak to overpower her and then hurl her dead weight body out that high window. Physically incapable.
A direct challenge to the physical possibility.
Yeah.
What about the timeline?
The defense hit that hard, too. Argued it was far too tight for murder and staging.
How so?
Nada went out the window at 5:55 a.m. Kids up by 6 a.m. Shano argued it was virtually impossible to commit murder, clean up, stage the scene in that tiny 5-minute window.
Really?
Unrealistic.
Okay, questioning the feasibility. And Muhammad's confession at the dining table, the one where he admitted being there.
Shano argued vehemently it had all the hallmarks of a false confession.
What?
Cited the 3 officers surrounding him, the pressure, feeding him a story, helping her clean. You'll feel better. Argued a vulnerable kid would appease authority figures.
Coerced admission.
That was the claim. And Shano appealed its use all the way to the Michigan Supreme Court.
Successfully?
Yes. Prosecutors agreed not to use it at trial. A significant legal win for the defense, removing that piece of evidence. Huge win. And the shadow video, the prosecution's key visual.
Defense called it inconclusive. You can't make out the sex, the size, the age. It's just a shadow. Too indistinct to identify Muhammad.
Challenged the interpretation. What about the CPR?
Argued it wasn't fake. Said Muhammad was actually pushing down. His voice sounded very frantic on the 911 call. Reframed it as a genuine, if imperfect, trauma response.
Okay. And the motive? Protecting Basil.
Defense challenged that too. Pointed out Nada's text also said, I did not open my mouth. I'm not going to say anything. Argued she wasn't an imminent threat needing silencing, undermining the urgency.
Yeah. And highlighted crime scene photos showing Muhammad's bags packed to move in with his dad suggested a lack of animosity at that specific moment. Where was the animosity if he was about to leave?
Trying to create reasonable doubt about the motive at that point? Did they suggest other suspects?
They did. Questioned why others weren't pursued harder. Mentioned Nada's co-worker boyfriend from the gym.
The one who supposedly snuck into the house?
Yeah. Suggested a killer could have done the same undetected. Argued police didn't investigate that enough.
Creating an alternative theory, and the chemical evidence.
The towel.
Directly disputed.
Yeah.
Claimed lab tests found no chemical on the towel, undermining the prosecution's incapacitation theory. If no chemical, that part of the theory falls apart. So a multi-pronged defense challenging physicality, timeline, confession, video, motive, and chemical evidence.
Exactly. Aiming to create that reasonable doubt.
For Ya, the daughter, these years waiting for trial were endless, life completely uprooted.
Went into foster care, right. Refused to live with her father. Yeah, even though he offered her horses, she built this charming wall around herself, numbing the pain just to function.
A profound psychological defense. Incredible resilience, but at immense emotional cost.
And for a long time, she clung to hope her brother was innocent, feared if he was guilty.
It meant losing everyone. Mom, brother, dad. An unthinkable triple loss.
But as trial neared, she made the agonizing decision to testify.
What did she say?
Described Muhammad as very aggressive towards Nada, very against the divorce, seeing it as Nada trying to destroy her family.
Reinforcing the prosecution's view of his mindset.
And recalled Muhammad's chilling remark to Nada a week before the murder. Doesn't matter. You already did this, like you're gonna get what's coming to you.
Wow. An ominous warning. Powerful testimony from a direct witness to the dynamics brings motive into sharp personal focus.
But the defense challenged her memory on cross-examination, pointed to old police reports where Muhammad helped Nada when she was choking.
Hardly the behavior of a son who wanted to kill his mother, trying to show inconsistency.
Ya conceded. That's what I told the police then. Yes, I don't remember the exact details. Acknowledging memory's flaws.
But ultimately,
After hearing all the trial evidence, Ya concluded, when you're very determined to do something, little things like that aren't going to stop you. She became convinced her brother was guilty.
a heartbreaking conclusion for her. The trial finally began March 2022, 5 years after the murder.
A 7-day trial. Emotionally draining.
And the prosecution presented a robust case. despite the defense efforts.
Lead Detective Webby testified the scene was staged. Noted Telex was very odd for window cleaning deception.
The security video was central again.
Absolutely. Enhanced footage identifying the shadow as male, short hair, matching Muhammad, his half-hearted CPR highlighted.
And the medical examiner.
Dr. Dragovich confirmed cause of death, asphyxia by smothering due to nasal blockage, reinforced the potential chemical incapacitation theory.
Beyond the physical evidence, they cemented motive and premeditation.
Muhammad's phone evidence was key. The dog contact name, the forward deposition text showing Basil's jeopardy.
And those damning window photos taken weeks before. Proof he had been plotting the murder for weeks. A compelling reconstruction.
It was compelling to the jury. After just 2 hours of deliberation,
The verdict.
guilty of first-degree premeditated murder.
Wow. Quick deliberation.
6 months later, at sentencing, Muhammad addressed the court, declared, "I am innocent. I have never wavered, nor will ever waver in that truth."
Maintaining innocence despite the verdict. A difficult moment.
Then came Basil's victim impact statement. This was Ya's breaking point.
What do you say?
He described it as all about defending Muhammad, barely mentioning Nada. Called his son a loving, and he's still a loving, caring, supportive human being.
Defending the convicted murderer,
Yeah.
minimizing the victim in open court.
A public betrayal. Ya couldn't take it. Confronted him in the hallway, yelling, "You are nothing."
Highly charged scene. Deputies holding her back.
6 or 7, she said. Accused them, father and brother, of having no remorse, no empathy for anyone else but themselves.
Her outburst reveals that deep chasm, her conviction about her father's complicity. Believing he actually wanted, not killed, counseled Muhammad.
Echoing others close to Nada who asked, "Who did the molding here?" Raising questions about Basil's influence.
The manipulation, the control, it certainly set the stage. Makes his defense of Muhammad even more chilling.
And evidence at trial did raise questions about Basil. The forwarded texts, the window photos, those 20-plus call stacks that morning before the body was found.
Compelling circumstantial evidence of influence, maybe collaboration, but enough to charge him.
Apparently not. The prosecutor stated there wasn't enough direct evidence to charge Basil with murder or conspiracy.
A high legal bar. Suspicion isn't proof beyond a reasonable doubt for a charge like that.
So ultimately, Muhammad al-Antalya was sentenced 35 to 60 years in prison, a lifetime behind bars for murdering his mother.
Justice served, legally, for Muhammad's actions. But the family remains fractured.
Ya hasn't spoken to Muhammad since. Lost touch with her younger sister who lives with Basil.
Perpetuating that fractured state. Tragic.
For Ya, her father is dead to me for all I care. A complete emotional break.
Understandable, given everything, but amidst the loss.
Incredible strength. Remarkable resilience. She graduated college a year early with honors, building a new life.
Amazing determination.
And she's channeling her trauma into purpose, determined to go to law school.
To become a lawyer.
Yes, to help foster kids, vulnerable children like she was, says, "I want to make an impact in the world." Driven by a desire to make her mother proud.
Transforming grief into a legacy of justice and advocacy, that's powerful.
But through meticulous forensics, detective work, unearthing family secrets, we uncovered a complex, chilling narrative: discord, control, premeditated murder.
This deep dive really reminds us how crucial it is to look beyond those initial assumptions. Absolutely. The ME's expertise, the enhanced video, digital evidence, all vital in revealing the truth, even when it pointed to unthinkable acts within a family.
It highlights the devastating impact of manipulation.
And the profound resilience of those left behind, fighting not just for justice, but for their own future. Every detail matters.
Ya's journey, from terrified 14-year-old to determined graduate aspiring lawyer. It's a testament to the human spirit's capacity to endure, adapt, thrive.
Truly incredible resilience.
But it leaves us, and hopefully you, with a haunting, important question.
What truly makes a child turn against a parent, especially under the alleged influence of another?
And how do we as a society better protect vulnerable children caught in these insidious cycles of discord and manipulation?
Ensuring they can not just survive, but build lives of purpose and joy, instead of becoming victims or perpetrators themselves.
That's something worth considering long after our deep dive ends.